Okay, students, our today's lecture is somehow related with letter writing because in our last lecture we started with the letter writing and we have discussed what are the skills or how we're supposed to write the letter. Today we will discuss about parts of letter and the format we should use in writing the formal letters. Let me present my screen to you. Is it visible to everybody?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. They're saying there are seven basic parts of a business letter. There are many, like some are stating that there are 15 parts, some are saying there are 14 parts, but let's discuss the main important parts which we use into the formal business letter. The very first part that is called as sender's address. If you use the uh, letterhead of a company, then automatically the information of your company it will be displayed. It will be displayed on the top of your letterhead. But when you will email somebody in form of a letter, means you are going to attach the letter in your attachment, and you are writing the letter in that situation. First of all, there would be sender's address. They're saying optimally you want to have printed company letterhead, as I've said that letterhead similarly to having a company website conveys that your business is legit. But even if the address is simply typed at the top, including your address plays a practical purpose because you don't want the recipient to have to look up your address in order to send a response. So basically what they are saying, like if you have a letterhead, you need not to write down. But if you are writing uh, in MS Word, for example, and you would attach that letter, in that way you're supposed to first of all type the sender's address. So first thing in the letter it would be this. Then it comes the position of a date. So you know that if there will be a printer letterhead, the date will not be published. You will write down the date over there. So second part it is the date. But now important part is this. There are three ways of writing the date. They're saying one is in US pattern, second is UK pattern, third is full form. UK pattern, as we write the date because we follow the UK pattern. The day it comes first, then the month and the year. But in US pattern, the month will come first, then the day, and then the year. So when you write down somebody at international level, it might create a confusion because you probably using, as I've said, that you are probably using UK pattern, so you are following of the pattern where you use the day first and month later. But where you are sending the recipient, the recipient would be probably from a place where they have a pattern where they use the month first. Like if you work in any of the application which is made from North America part, so you will observe that they have pre-settled date format where you write down the month first and the date. So sometimes it is confusing because if you write down 2, 3 and 2020, so it is confusing that 2 is a date or 2 is a month. 3 is a date or 3 is a month. So you need to make sure this thing that if you're writing in India, then you can follow the UK pattern. But if you're writing internationally, I would suggest that you should write down The format where everything is explained means a full format. Full view format means, as it has written here, September 20th, 2018. So this is the example for you. In that case, you need not to get confused here. Month is written with the name like September. Day is written with the writing the numerical alphabets like 20. Then it has got the year. Third thing which it comes here, the third part of a business letter, that is called as recipient address. Who would be your receiver? So they are saying whosoever would be your receiver, you supposed to write his or her address over there. Include the recipient's address so that you have the information readily available for printing out the envelope. A full recipient address also helps ensure the letter doesn't get lost in the offline or in the office shuffle wherever you are sending it. The first line should be the name, including any uh, honorifics such as Mr., Mrs., Ms., Doctor, etc. The second line is the recipient's job title. The company's name goes on the third line. The remaining line includes street address, city, state, and zip code. So this is how you will write down the recipient's address. They're saying receiver's name along with his or her title. Then it comes, they're saying it, the job title of that person: general manager, marketing manager, engineer, mechanical engineer, something like that. Then it comes the name of the company, then the address part. So this is how you write down the address of a receiver. Now we are coming close where we have to write down or we have to start the letter. Though first thing or the first part here, it is called as salutation. Salutation means greeting. That how will you greet to the receiver? So they're saying salutation. It would be basically it start by writing dear sir or dear madam if something is uh, professional as well, formal as well, and you are writing to somebody to whom you think you should give respect. Means a senior. So in that case, you will write down dear sir or dear madam rather than writing the respected sir or respected madam. Because sir or madam is already having a respect in it. But if you know the person, you can write down dear Mr. Vikas Kumar. In that case, you have added the title, me, Mr. Doctor, whatever you feel like, and you have written down the name of that person. This is you would address it to. But if you don't know, means don't know in the sense like if you don't know, yes, of course, the name of a person, or it is a first time connection, then you're supposed to write down sir or madam. Okay. आर्यमान शर्मा जी आप प्लीज अपने आप को म्यूट कीजिए आपकी आवाज बीच में हमें आ रही है थैंक यू so that is what you call the salutation. They're saying it's a good way to ensure that your letter goes nowhere. Find out the name of a person who should receive the letter. Even if you have to do something, searching on Google or LinkedIn, or call the company. So this is what they are giving a suggestion, but we are discussing how we should write down. So salutation is greeting a person. Dear sir or madam, dear Mr. or dear. Third application is if you know that person more closely, then you can write down without adding the title. For example, if a letter is written by your senior, senior means, for example, a college principal is writing a letter to you, uh, and he is wanting to congratulate you because you have, got a promotion or something like that, or your teacher is writing, or your any of the elder is writing to you, in that case, there is application of a third thing, that is where you omit any of the title and you directly write down Dear Vikas. So we have not written here Doctor or Mister. We have just simply written down Dear Vikas. So here you are more casual than more formal, I would say, because you know that person formally, closely. So that is how you can omit that title from the name. So there are three things into the salutation. Now here comes the main thing, that is called as body. Body means what do you want to write down into the letter. They are saying time is money in the business world. So get down to business and quickly make your case or communicate your message. Stay professional, be clear and concise, and quickly convey the point of the letter. This is something which is quite similar with the email writing, as I told you, that you should write down your message directly, because time is money, of course. So if you write down something very long, it may happen that you will lose the exact sense of the letter or the motive of the letter. But you should follow the format as I've told you, that there should be three paragraphs. One would be opening paragraph where you try to make the relation with the um, sender, like you would thank for the letter, or you would try to wish to them. It depends that how or whom do you are writing the letter. And the first paragraph, it should be opening or ice breaking. Second paragraph, it should have the brief detail of the reason why you are writing the letter. If it is a, what I should say, means you are writing it for the sake of complaint, you're writing it to get the quotation of something, you're writing it because you want to apply for a job. So there are numerous reasons, and answer is one, that is the second part. It should be focused on that part. Third paragraph, it is the ending point or the closing paragraph, where you end up again by thanking that person, or you can try to write down something which will create a reference for the future, so that a person would not consider it as a dead end letter. He would take it, okay, the information a person was asking, and now he is wanting to communicate in future. So that is the format of writing the body of the letter. After this, there will be complementary clause and signature. Complimentary close like sincerely, yours faithfully, thank you. I told you, like this actually depends upon whatever you have written down in your salutation, because it has got a direct contact with the salutation. For example, if you have written in your salutation, dear sir or madam, so your complimentary close will be yours faithfully. But if you have written down dear Mr. Vikas Kumar, so salutation will be your sincerely, something like that, which will be more professional as per the situation. But if you know that person, I have told you that, in that case, you can write down regards, thank you, these kind of complimentary clues. Then after that, followed by a signature of that person who has written down the letter. People use what do you call stamps as well for the same thing, that if they have multiple number of letters. For example, if a company is sending that letter to multiple number of people. So they could not, means the sender could not sign every letter. Like I gave you the example of a college, like if you want to invite somebody from our college, from means on behalf of our college to the other colleges. So in Punjab, which comes under the technical institutions, they are more than 200 to 300 colleges. So it will be very hard for one person to sign those letters. So usually people use the stamps for this as well. Now, a very important point it comes, or important part it comes, that is called as enclosures. Enclosure means if you are sending along with the letter, you are sending something along with the letter. So you write down like ENCL and you write down what you are including. It could be a bill, it could be a brochure, it could be a resume or a CV. So they are saying it could be a product photos. So there are many things you can enclose with your. These are called attachments. You can say that. For example, there is an invitation from a college, and they can send brochures along with it. So ENCL will be enclosure will be brochure. So you can write down that in your letter. So if it is sent by mail, it could be a bill, it could be a check. So if it is written there that ENCL, the check of the payment or the whatever you are including or the CV as I said that if you're applying for a job. So the receiver would see this thing that you have attached something separately. Like in case of CV, I would say that you cannot discuss everything in the letter. You can just simply tell them in opening paragraph that you have seen an ad of job opening in that particular portal. Second paragraph, you would explain a bit about yourself. Third, you state that you would be happy that they will call you for the interview or something. But in closure, you would write down your CV. Means a detailed information if they want to know about you, you cannot write down in the letter. That can be checked in the CV. So that is how I have enclosed my CV over here. Okay, that is called enclosures. Now, they think what are the optional parts of a business letter? They are saying attention line and the subject or a reference line. That is the optional part of a business letter. Yes, and as I've told you that is why I've said that some people say that there are more number of parts, but they are saying which are necessary, which you should definitely write down. These are the parts, and you want to add something more onto it, then there are more like attention line, which provides the more of the necessary information to whom you are actually sending that address. For example, it could be for the accounts department, it could be for the HR department. They have said that. So as per the requirement, you can put the attention line over there. Then they're saying a reference line, subject or a reference line. But I tell you, reference number and a reference line is different. Reference number is somehow in some letters it is important because almost all the professional letters or the formal letters it has a reference number because it shows first of all the record that this thing has been punched in the record. I give you example like tomorrow if you will apply somewhere and company would ask you to get the um, character certificate, the letter of recommendation LOR from your college. Whosoever will issue you that will write down the reference number over there. Because in the register, he would write down that name of the reference number, and in front of that, it will be written that this reference letter of recommendation, is given to this person on this date. Means a brief detail of that document will be written down in that register. So what will happen? So if it does not have that reference number, it seems fake. Because if you send that to the good companies, they would verify that, because anybody can procure that letter and send to them. There are a lot of fake cases which are going on. So to make sure this thing, they would not ask about the entire letter. They would ask simply, or they will email simply to know about the reference number. For example, if there is a reference number like GGI slash uh, ME mechanical slash 2020 slash 01. So that is a reference number which is given to your letter. So if we would receive this thing, we would verify that, GJ means Gulzar Group of Institutes, mechanical ME means mechanical engineering, 2020 means 2020 batch, oblique 01 means whatever for reason this thing it has been issued or to whom it has been issued. It could be a roll number, 01 I have said that it could be something else. So on 01, we will write down like a recommendation letter has been issued to Mr. Sohan Kumar, son of this, on this date, uh, or this is the character certificate of that person. So when you reply to that, and the company when they will receive it, so they can easily match that the information which is provided by us and information which is given by you, it is same or it has a difference. If it has a difference, it means it's a fake letter. It can easily be find out. So that is how you can say that this is the importance of a reference number. I can say this. So here they're not talking about reference number; they're talking about reference line or the subject line, where you simply write why you are writing that letter. What is the reason of it? They have written it is optional, but in today's time it is getting huge importance of because of the email. Email it suggests that the subject line it should always be written. So this has been followed in the letters as well, because while the person open up that letter would understand that why a letter has been written. So that is the reason of writing it. So these are the important parts of uh, letter writing. There is one important part which is left over here that is called as postscript. You have written down everything. Now letter is completed. All of a sudden, is something it has come into your mind that one important information it is left to write down into the letter. For example, you're working for a company and they have said that if these many people will purchase this thing, there will be discount of this percent, and you forgot to write down. So you would not rewrite it, or you will try to see that where I can fit it, you know, forcefully. Probably it would change the entire meaning of the letter. So you need not to disturb your letter. What can you write down? You can write down at the end of the letter that is called as P.S. A full form of P.S is postscript. So P.S, then you write down there is a 20% of discount if 50 people or 50 employees of your company will purchase this. So that is what you call the postscript. So these are called as the parts of a formal business letter where we use these things. But post-scripting again, as I've said, that these are optional things. It's not like in every letter you're supposed to write down post-scripting. These are optional ones. If you forgot something to write down into that and you feel like I should write down, then you can use the tool of PS PostScript, and there you can add the information. So these are called as the parts of business letter. Important part, I would say that. So formally we should write down. Now next thing that comes into our mind that okay, these are the things we should follow. When I write down the letter, I should know that the sender's address should be there, date should be there, receiver's address should be there, salutation should be there, body should be there. Okay, then complimentary close should be there, then signature there, then enclosure there, then if you feel like adding something more like the postscripting is there. Enclosure is there, then the postscripting is there. Now the next question it comes that what kind of the format we should use. Format means the way of writing it. So there are different formats of writing the business letters. The very first form is called as a block format. Block format it says that the whole information or the way you write down the letter it goes onto the left hand side. Means every information it should be aligned to the left margin. So in that way, if you write down, that is called as block format. It is the kind of example it is in front of you. You can see that, you know, recipient, sender's address, date, receiver's address, salutation, body, complimentary close and signature, and the other information it is written on. There is one more information that, like, in parts of letter I consider, which is optional as well. In a lot of formal letters, we use CC and BCC as well. CC is more important. BCC we do not use in letters. BCC is for the emails. CC full form of CC is carbon copy. Means when you work in the organization, uh, you definitely have seniors. You definitely have people those who tell you that this is what you're supposed to do. So, if a work it has been assigned to you, it is a duty that whatever we do, we should let our senior know about it. Okay. So, what we do over here, we put them onto the CC, means a carbon copy. Whatever information I'm sharing, I am also letting you know that I am doing this work. For example, you are working for one company and you are doing business with another company, and what it happens over here, whatever you communicate with the other company, you should put every information, every letter, and you should CC that to your senior. In case of in our system, I would say the college, if we receive any of the letter from the university, for example, registrar send us a letter, sports director send us a letter, or somebody from exams send us a letter, whosoever will send a letter from a university will always send a CC, means a carbon copy to the vice chancellor. So vice chancellor is the supreme authority in the university. So he should be aware of that what kind of conversation it is going on in between you and the other person, means other college. So if he needs or if he finds something necessary to include into it, then he would be aware of. Then he can write on that. For example, uh, as I've told you that if somebody has sent us a letter that if we receive a letter from the university, okay, uh, you know uh, colleges can open up the campus for the students, and CC is done to the vice chancellor. And if vice chancellor feels like that there is some information which is missing and he wants to add on something to it, so he will be well aware of it. So by seeing that, he can add into it. Means he can, send an email from his side that okay, this is the information I am also adding with it. So that is how we call it a CC. So block format we were discussing. Block format means everything that is aligned at the left hand side, and information should be written in that way. So now you know that professionally, if you talk to somebody, that these are the parts of letter, and this is my format. In business or the professional formal format, we actually use, or the maximum of usage is of block format, because it is easy to remember. You need not to remember that in which side I should use date, on which side I should use something else is. So formatted says you aligned everything on the left hand side, and that alignment is called as full block format. So now I think it is clear to you, because we were writing as per our own wish or will, that आज मुझे अच्छा लगा तो मैंने आज लेफ्ट पे लिख दी डेट, आज अच्छा लगा तो मैंने राइट पे लिख ली है. बट ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. वी सपोज टू फॉलो द फॉर्मेट. If format it allows us that we should put the information on the left hand side, we should put it. Otherwise, we should not do it, by our own mind or wish. There is another one that is called as modified block. So you see that a difference here into the modified block is that there is some information which comes down to the right hand side. So your what do you call the sender's address and the date. It comes sender's address, date, and the complementary close and signature. That comes onto the right hand side, and the rest of the information it is aligned at the left hand side. So you see sender's address, then date, then what you call the receiver's address, salutation, body, then we have a complementary close and signature, then again the other parts and closer and all, so that would come on the left hand side. So if you write down in that format, so that format is called or known as the modified block format. Keeping this into your mind, as I've told you, that is why we actually suggest that more block format, because it is easy to remember. You know that I need to write down everything from the left line, but from the student's point of view, I'm letting you know everything. Semi block format. That was the block format, and that is the semi block format. So can anyone tell me that, do you find any difference into it? Here the information is also aligned at the left hand side margin. So while it is called as a semi block format rather than we call it as a block format, is it same, or do we have any kind of a difference? Yes, students? Do you find
I think
any?
different, sir.
Hmm? Same
I
as?
think different. No, sir.
सर पहले वाले उसमें ब्लॉक वाले में पैराग्राफ जो शुरू था वो स्टार्टिंग से था, तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा स्पेस करके है.
Very smart, Kajal. Very good. That is the difference जो काजल ने अभी बताया है, बिल्कुल ठीक बताया है इन्होंने. In semi block, there is a difference of alignment of the starting of the paragraph. If you see that paragraphs are a bit, away from the left hand margin, and this is the basic difference in the block and a semi block. That is why it is called as semi block. Means everything is same as block, but just the alignment of the paragraph is different. That is what this kind of a format is called as a semi block format. So basically, these are the three main formats I would say, that block format, modified, and semi block format. And I told you that people in the formal world, they use most of the time what we call the block format. And I think there is uh, these are some of the suggestions they have said that we should use it. But as I told you that mm, we should be free from certain things. Free from certain things in the sense like letter writing is an art. We cannot cram it. We cannot learn it. We can just learn the format. We can learn the what things it should include into it. As I've told that these are the paths you can add on, and this is the format you should follow. But basically, when you write it, there is no such way that you can just simply cram those things and implement it. So here it comes your actual thing, which is a body. So you're supposed to know that how would you write it, and what should be the tone of it, because every time, as per the type of the letter, the tone would be different. If you're writing to somebody to ask for a quotation, for example, you are working for the company and company has told you that we are going to start with this thing, or want to set up this thing, and tell us that what would be the cost, or present a report on it or something like that. So you would write down, for example, if you have to purchase, for example, 5 6 computers, 10 computers, 20 computers, so you cannot just simply order it. First of all, you would write down an quotation letter to the companies. From mechanical engineering, automobile engineering students' point of view, it could be something. It could be part of the car or a bike. It could be a boiler. It could be something else. It could be crankshaft, anything. You see cars, you see bikes in front of you, but don't think that Honda, on these companies, those who actually sell on their name, they manufacture everything. They manufacture certain things like engine or something like that. But even sometimes they procure engine from some other companies, and they assemble that and they sell on their name, because they have got what do you call um, agreement with those companies that they are purchasing and they would sell it. Like the cars, they have sometimes engines from other companies. Like when Swift it came into the market, they were selling I think the engines of Fiat. They have purchased the engines, diesel engines, from Fiat company initially, and this was into the Swift car. So Swift is you know mm, model of Maruti Suzuki. So, so if you're working for one company, it may happen that you're supposed to ask for different quotations from different people. You write down. So that is an art. Like you're supposed to know that here, if I am asking uh, to give you the quotations, so you need to think that what things I should be concerned about. The specification of that part, the price of that part, warranty of that part, service of that part. Okay, so you have to run your mind from that one particular point. If you're selling that part, if you're on other end, you have received a letter and you have to send the reply to that letter, then your mind will be different. You cannot say that a tone at that time will be same. Here you comes at that part where you have to sell it. So your tone will be different. You discuss those points which you feel like which are the USPs, right? So if there is a complaint letter, the tone will be different. You will see that how will you write down that letter. If there's a complaint, if it's a first interaction, you cannot be harsh in the first interaction. You can just simply write down the complaint that I have got a defected part, I've received the defective part, and I expect that the company would replace it. And the tone would be different. And if you write down that complaint letter for fifth time, then the tone will be entirely different. Then you will be probably more harsh. You will be probably in a situation of warning them that you probably will go to the court if they'll not listen to you. So here it requires the practice, because the letters which you have written down into your school, those were the mix of more of the casual letters. Here it comes the professional letters, and you are professionals. So you're supposed to see this thing that if you have to write down this, that Tone, it should come up with their experience. Tone, it would come up with the what do you call practice. So you're supposed to see, because in your paper even we do not know. They could ask you letters to write down on quotations, on complaint, on job application. Again, this is an art. You're applying for the job. So your words would be magical, that the HR should open up your CV as well. Because in cover letter, you will just simply tell them that this is the job, this is me, this is my qualification in short. That's it. So you should see that how can you convince them that they will also open up your CV. They will see, because sending the cover letter or a CV is not assurance of a job. It is an effort that they would call you for the interview. So our goal is that they will call you for the interview. So if it is fulfilled, it means you have written nice letter. So that's all from my side. So today we have covered about different parts of letter and the formats of writing the business letter. Now I am going to take your attendance. Please stay with me. Today is 19th. Yes. Amandeep Singh and Amandeep is present. Excuse me. Amandeep is absent. Harpreet Singh.
Yes, sir.
Sujay Vijay. Sujay Vijay Kamble. No. Mohammad Abid Raza. Binod Kumar Nayak.
Present, sir.
Okay. Anyone else from E&R? Okay. Automobile engineering students. Harnoor Singh. Harnoor is present.
Yes, sir, present. Present, sir.
Farhan. Farhan?
सर हरनूर दी लगी प्रेजेंट
हाँ जी, हरनूर दी लगी बेटा.
ठीक है सर ओके
फरहान. तनवीर.
प्रेजेंट सर.
तनवीर.
हाँ जी सर.
ओके. आर्यमान शर्मा.
प्रेजेंट सर.
ओके. काजल गुप्ता.
Present, sir.
सुहेल सिंह.
प्रेजेंट सर.
ओके. सुखवीर सिंह. सुखवीर सिंह. अब्दुल्ला अल नोमान. अब्दुल्ला.
Sir, he is
कुलदीप
facing
कुमार,
some network issues.
हाँ जी बेटा,
Abdullah Al Numan is facing some network issues. He is in the
okay,
class.
he's in the class. Okay, I'll mark him as present. Okay, Kuldeep Kumar, Amit Kumar from Tripoli, Amit from ECE.
Present, sir.
Okay. SM Saqib, Avinash Thakur.
प्रेजेंट सर। सर
हाँ जी बेटा,
हेलो
हाँ जी बेटा,
सर, मेरा चेंज हो गया, इसी से ट्रिपल ई में कन्वर्ट करवाया था मैंने।
कन्वर्ट हो लिया। चलो मैं अभी कर देता हूँ, एक मिनट। तुम्हारी सारी अटेंडेंस ट्रिपली मिलेगी। लो। विवेक शाह, सुरभि कुमारी, सुरभि कुमारी,
सर इज इट डन?
नहीं बेटा अभी मैं ले रहा हूँ। हाँ आपका हो गया, अविनाश का हो गया।
ओके सर।
मैकेनिकल स्टूडेंट्स, आंसल, आंसल नज़ीर, रोशन कुमार ठाकुर।
प्रेजेंट सर।
जिनकी अटेंडेंस होगी वो छोड़ सकते हैं मीटिंग। रकीबुल इस्लाम,
Present,
थैंक यू
sir.
सर।
Ganesh Joy, Ganesh Joy from Mechanical Joy, राजेश कुमार, दुशाल कुमार, अक्षय कुमार, नहीं सॉरी आकाश कुमार फ्रॉम सिविल
Yes,
इंजीनियरिंग।
ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ओके,
Present.
लैशराम शिवदत्त सिंह,
Present, sir.
श्रीराम टॉमथिन गैनबा सिंह, विशाल ठाकुर,
Present, sir.
विपिन कुमार यादव,
Present, sir. Present, sir.
ठीक है बेटा। लवराज शाही, करण सिंह, सलमान काजी, अजय रविंदर गोप,
Present, sir.
उमर मुश्ताक, एनीवन एल्स प्लीज चैट बॉक्स में लिख दीजिए जिनकी अटेंडेंस नहीं हुई है। रेस्ट जो है बच्चे वो लीव कर सकते हैं मीटिंग।
सर अमन जंगराल प्रेजेंट।
अमन जंगराल, आपकी ब्रांच कौन सी है अमन जंगराल?
सर ईसी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक एंड कम्युनिकेशन।
ये बेटा फर्स्ट लेक्चर है फिर आपका? मैंने पहले तो आपको देखा नहीं कभी क्लास में।
हाँ सर, जस्ट फर्स्ट लेक्चर।
ठीक है बेटा, इसी में है ना?
यस सर।
अमन जंगराल, ठीक है बेटा, लग गई आपकी। हाँ जी, एनीवन एल्स? किसी और की अटेंडेंस रहती हो प्लीज?
Sir, Sujay Kamble
कामले
AR.
का रीजन। ओके, सुजय कामले।
Have a good day, sir.
ठीक है बेटा, गुड डे, टेक केयर। लगे बेटा, कामले की भी लग गई है। और बोलो। थैंक यू।